Hey Bat fans, Luke here back with another video, and today was going to be a day where I was going to review Detective Comics for this week's release, being it's James Tynan's final issue on that run. Today was going to be the day, but it is what it is. My books haven't shown up yet, so I probably won't get to that video until tomorrow, maybe Saturday, if not Sunday. We'll see. But I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen, so I figured in the event that today I wouldn't have my book, I would go ahead and do another Bat Classic. And to be honest, going out throughout the week, it was kind of a long week, so it wasn't one where I can just sit there and just plow through a long book. So I figured let's do a short one. And what I picked up earlier in the week was like I haven't really talked about Legends of the Dark Knight as of late. And I figured with Legends of the Dark Knight, what it basically is especially in the trades, they're just short one-and-done stories where you don't really have to kind of plow through them. And you know, sometimes you get a story you kind of really can't like take a break from. There's certain points, there's like earmarked points where kind of like you can place hold in and step away for a little bit and come back. But stories like that are found in the Legends of the Dark Knight, they're literally ones where you can read 5 minutes. It's a short story. Some of them are kind of like the black and white theme story. You might only get like 8 pages. Some might be an issue or two. But it's something you can just sit there and 5, 10, 15 minutes, do a short digestible reading session, and then take a break, walk away for a minute, come back an hour, or just come back tomorrow. So that's what I'm kind of choosing to do. The Legends of the Dark Knight. Now there's a total of 5, and I would kind of like to kind of maybe talk about all of them. But this is obviously the first one. This incarnation of the Legends of the Dark Knight, and we're not talking one during the the pre-New 52 era. This happened right in the middle of the New 52. And again, this is a 5-volume trade. This one here collects, they're relatively short. This one collects issues 1 through 5 of the Legends of the Dark Knight, and it contains 9 stories. And the good thing about Legends of the Dark Knight, especially in this first volume, there's a whole slew of all-star creators in this book. Obviously, in the cover you have Ethan Van Sciver, but writer-wise, you have Tom Taylor, you have B. Clay Moore. And then on artist, you got Jeff Lemire, Nicola Scott, Ben Templesmith shows up in here, Phil Hester, man, I know there's more, yeah, there's a couple more actually. The one particular I want to mention, I can't remember his name, Pew or something like that. Either way, whole bunch of good creators on this book. And again, this collects issues 1 through 5, and this actually has 9 stories in it. Again, some of them are in like 8 pages, some of them are an issue, some maybe might be 2 issues. I can't remember. When I say 2 issues, I'm thinking like 2 issues in length. Probably not like 46 pages. Some they all kind of vary in that very short to semi-short range. And again, issues 1 through 5. This one actually has 9 stories. It has the first one that deals with the story called "The Butler Did It." It's one with Jeff Lemire actually doing the art. And Jeff Lemire's art it's a mixed bag. What I like about this is that it mentions a story where basically Batman says something to the effect he has no weakness, and Alfred initially tries to call him on it. And in the short story, again, it's only short, it's like 8 pages. It is the way that Alfred does show Bruce that you do have a weakness. And I don't want to spoil any of these too much. It was clever. I did like that. And that's one thing I like about these stories. They're short, but they're very thematic. They actually hit a good theme, and they tell a story, relatively short one, that kind of really does accentuate that theme. The next one is a story called All of the Above, and it deals with Batman and Amazo. They do a battle in the Justice League Tower in space. It was okay. The one I did kind of like was a story called "The Crime That No One Committed," and it deals with someone like Batman and Robin actually knowing that this guy is gonna do something bad, but he's kind of one. He's kind of like in his conniption where would you steal a loaf of bread if you couldn't feed your family type of thing, where it's like it's wrong, but you understand. What is that called? Not matters. Extenuating circumstances. So it dealt with, again, it's a short story, but it's Batman seeing someone who's good but is getting ready to do something bad, but he understands why he's doing it, type of thing. So he gives him like a second chance. Next one is the one that probably looked the coolest was Crisis Identity. It was written by B. Claymore and had art by Ben Templesmith. And Ben Templesmith's art I'm a really big fan of. You recently would have seen him in Wormwood. The title on IDW. Let's see if I can go ahead and scan with this page here. But you would have before that would have seen him. You also see him now doing the covers on the 30 Days of Night relaunch, if you would, from IDW as well. But he also did the first half of the Gotham by Midnight story, which I absolutely adored. And what this story is, this Crisis Identity, is that someone is kind of getting all these fake Batman to go after Killer Croc, and Killer Croc keeps eating them. Meanwhile, it's like Killer Croc just wants to be left alone, but someone keeps poking the bear type of thing. And it turns out that someone's the Joker. It's really actually a really good story. Joker actually has Mad Hatter in it to it as well. What's the next one? Letters to Batman, another great thematic story where Batman's going after the Joker. The Joker, he gets the Joker real quick, and then he gets him, puts him in Arkham Asylum, but he escapes. And while this is happening, he's trying to hunt him down. Actually, Jim Gordon has all these letters that people have been sending to Batman, but they've been addressing to the police department. But since the Gotham police are kind of going digital, they really have no need for all these paper mail. So he's actually gets them, says here, gives them to Batman. And Batman brings them back to the Batcave. Initially, he doesn't have nothing to do with it. But Alfred kind of gets it and then reads some of them. And it's actually all these people writing to him to say thank you for everything he's done. And it's a nice little thematic way that Batman initially doesn't want nothing to do with it, but Alfred kind of gives him the guilt trip. And he actually does start reading it. And it's all these people that he's helped, throughout the years, whatnot. And there's one when it kind of comes full circle where he gets someone who's, writing to thank him for, kind of get him on the right path, and someone he's helped, and he kind of merged them together. It was a really nice story. Next one is A Game to Die For. I think just need to refresh myself real quick on this one. Oh, that one. To be honest, this is one of the one I kind of wasn't least amused with. It was someone who was trying to prove himself to be like a Robin type figure with Batman. It's someone who actually got caught in a game with Joker. He actually had him and his wife, and obviously someone had to make a decision, and it was kind of tragic how it kind of ended up. It's kind of like, if you love someone more, you shoot yourself type thing. It was okay, but the art was kind of choppy, and the same thing with the story. Batman the movie was another one. It was kind of like me. It was someone who, who was trying to create a Batman movie, found someone who's kind of like the faux Batman, and to be honest, it really wasn't all that good either. Together was a really interesting Two-Face story, where I actually had someone who was actually doing a procedure on Two-Face, where he was actually trying to do a brain surgery procedure, where he was trying to actually separate the two sides of the brain. So actually looked like someone where the good side of Harvey is trying to do something good, but the brain surgeon actually trying to separate so there could be a clear distinction between Harvey and then Two-Face. And it was actually a really good story, and it kind of, again, it's another thematic story, Batman's relationship with Harvey, not the Two-Face side, but with the Harvey. And it was actually really interesting how it kind of played out. And last one was a story called A Slam Bradley Mystery. It was a very interesting story, one where It was someone who was kind of hired. He's like a private detective, and he ends up getting framed in this murder case. And it comes full circle. Batman initially thinks it's him, and it's not. And it really was like a really good detective story. It was a little bit longer one too, but it was fun though. Again, not to really go too far in depth in each of the stories. The Again, a lot of it, we got a lot of good talent here, writers and artists. And again, the best part about these things, again, it's just ones you can read, and then you can just kind of ingest it, and it doesn't take a big, huge involvement. So, while I might continue to review these series, again, there's 5 volumes. These probably won't be long, because I mean, I don't want to spoil a whole lot, because I mean, the stories are short enough as it is. So me just giving you kind of like the general synopsis is enough, I think, to just kind of maybe help you sway you whether or not to get it. And in this case, this one I recommended. Again, issues 1 through 5, $14.99, and it's worth it. Again, the best part is you get some good art and you get some shaky art. You kind of get a mixed bag in it, but again, it's ones that you can just sit there 5-10 minutes, read a quick Batman story, and they don't really connect to each other, so you can kind of just read it, unplug, and then come back at your leisure and read it again. So definitely fun. I give this a 4 out of 5. This was fun stuff. Fun stuff. Again, they're short stories, and some of them are very thematic. You kind of get into it, and when you read into the kind of meaning it's kind of getting after. But again, the best part, they're short. You can read 5-10 minutes, and that's it. Walk away, come back to it tomorrow, come back to it next week. It doesn't matter, because they don't really connect at all in this story, in this particular trade. So, anyway, yeah, 4 out of 5. Highly recommend it. $15 for 9 stories. Definitely worth it. So, about halfway through volume 2, and we'll kind of get to volume 2 maybe. I got some time off, so I might be doing a lot of videos. So definitely have volume 2 here sometime soon. Might not be in the bookshelf, might be in the Loopmobile, but definitely get to that volume sometime soon. So anyway, hit me up in the comments below what you thought if you read this particular trade or the stories within Bat Chat, and go from there. So until next video, take care.